trying to educate the community on what's the best way to become defensive walkers. We really look and try to tell the community that even though you have rights to walk and they're supposed to stop, that it's not wise to spend to play chicken with a 2,000-pound vehicle. And it's a tough job to try to figure out how to teach people how to walk across the street, especially 40,000 residents. But we have a tremendous staff here with Chief O'Reilly, Deputy Chief Ogello, Captain Disler, our Deputy Manager, Dean Kaczynski, our Township Manager, William Broughton, and I'd also like to recognize all the work that Councilwoman Rice has done on this issue. With that, I'm going to introduce our Township Manager, William Broughton. Thank you.
Good morning. Good morning. I'd also like to recognize former Mayor Cates, who's here with us today. Good morning and welcome. And I'd also like to recognize the Executive Director of the North Jersey Planning Authority, Ms. Ameen.
Yes, thank you.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much for coming. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank the Planning Authority for their collaborative efforts with law enforcement, community leaders, business organizations, in educating the public on the importance of pedestrian safety. I want you to know that this initiative has Teaneck's undivided attention and undivided support. As a former police officer, I've seen the deadly results of pedestrian accidents. The township as a whole averages approximately 40 pedestrian accidents per year. New Jersey is ranked 17th in the nation in pedestrian accidents. Pedestrian deaths account for 28.5% of all crashes, related fatalities from 2013 to 2017, well above the national average of 15%. We must do everything in our power to reduce these numbers. It is my hope, as well as everyone present here today, that through education and enforcement, we will make not only Teaneck, but communities throughout the state of New Jersey a safer place to walk and to travel. Again, thank you to the North Jersey Planning Authority and the Teaneck Police Department for putting forth this initiative. Chief O'Reilly has identified pedestrian safety as one of his top priorities, and I'd like to thank him for that. And I wish him great success in this initiative. Thank you. And I have the pleasure to introduce Chief Glenn O'Reilly.
Good morning. Thank you, Mr. Manager. I want to thank the Mayor, Councilwoman Romney Rice, for coming out this morning to support this initiative that we're combining with Street Smart NJ, and I want to thank Will and his staff and Director Ameen for making themselves available and for putting this together with us. So thank you everyone for coming today. Today we're kicking off the Township Street Smart NJ Pedestrian Safety Campaign. You may have already seen the signs around town reminding everyone to be a safe driver and pedestrian. We're working with the Mayor and Council to remind everyone to be safe when they're traveling our streets. We'll be interacting with motorists to make sure they know and obey the laws by stopping for pedestrians in the crosswalk and obeying speed limits. We'll also be reminding pedestrians to use crosswalks or to cross at intersections and to wait for the walk signal. And we want everyone to avoid distractions while driving or walking. We'll be handing out safety tip cards to remind everyone of the laws and of their responsibilities as motorists and pedestrians. Safety is a top priority, and with your help, we can work to make sure our streets are safe for everyone who lives, works, and comes to visit Teaneck. Thank you. A couple of the people I want to thank: Jackie Cates, and also Larry Bauer and Jen Glass from the Teaneck Chamber of Commerce. Thank you all very much. Lastly, I want to introduce the acting executive director for the North Jersey Transportation Planning Authority, Mary Ameen.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you all for inviting me to speak today. I only recently became the acting executive director of NJTPA, and so this is my very first Street Smart event in this role, and I'm very pleased that it's here. The NJTPA does quite a bit of safety-related work, but Street Smart is unique because it benefits every one of us. Every one of us here is a pedestrian. Street Smart is a public education, awareness, and behavioral change campaign that targets drivers, pedestrians, and bicyclists. We created Street Smart in 2013 to combat New Jersey's high pedestrian crash rate. As you've heard, the campaign has 5 core messages. Stop for pedestrians and crosswalks, obey speed limits, those are for the drivers, wait for the walk, and use crosswalks, those are for the pedestrians, and for all of us, the 5th message, heads up, phones down, reminds every one of us to avoid distractions. Your campaign comes at a great time because May is both Bike Month and Motorcycle Safety Awareness Month. The nicer weather that we're enjoying today also means that more people will be out walking and biking, making this a critical time to focus on safety. We have over 60 campaign partners. We're excited to have Teaneck join this list, and I encourage all communities to join us. By working with local law enforcement and educating drivers, pedestrians, and cyclists about the laws, these campaigns are definitely making a difference. Some past campaigns have resulted in a 28% reduction in pedestrian jaywalking or crossing against the signal, and 40% reduction in drivers failing to stop for pedestrians. So we'll be working with Rutgers over the next year to conduct new evaluations, and we're also going to be updating our Street Smart messaging and materials in the hopes of reaching even more people. In addition to Street Smart, NJTPA also funds engineering improvements to make our roads safer. We're about to break ground on a $3.2 million local safety project with Bergen County. This project will make improvements to the Washington Avenue corridor in Carlstadt, where we'll be addressing missing sidewalk links, improving bus stops, and installing high-intensity activated crosswalk signals for pedestrians. The board, which County Executive Tedesco is a member of, has allocated more than $164 million for 131 projects through our local safety and high-risk rural roads program going back to fiscal year 2005. So these are just some examples of the kinds of safety projects that we do. We also include pedestrian refuge islands, bicycle lanes, and in some cases we're replacing dangerous intersections with modern roundabouts to help reduce the number of serious crashes. Street Smart and our law enforcement efforts and our roadway improvements are all helping New Jersey work toward its goal of 0 pedestrian fatalities. In closing, I would just like to thank everyone again for participating in this important program, and I encourage other communities to join us. Everything you need to start your own campaign is on our website, bestreetsmartnj.org. Thank you all very much. My name is Ameen. It's spelled A-M-E-E-N. Acting Executive Director, NJTPA. Sure. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. I just want to recognize Deputy Mayor Henry Pruitt, who arrived. I'd like to thank all of our council members, Councilwoman Jaron Romney Rice, Mayor Hameeduddin, and I'd also like to thank Deputy Manager Kaczynski for working on this program as well. So we're excited, we're ready to kick it off, and go Teaneck, get it kicked off. Thank you.